Hey, Taj, can you hear us, man?
Yes, sir.
How you doing,
What's up? What's
man?
up?
Pretty good.
Awesome, man. So, hey, first of all, thank you for hopping on. We appreciate it. Obviously, Chicago fans love you right now. And you're about 9 days away from your life kind of changing in regards to the NFL draft. So, Taj, before we hop into anything, man, how you feeling? Is it crazy? Is it feel surreal, or are you kind of just been ready for this moment?
I'm feeling good, man. Just ready to play football again. Pretty much, like just ready to help. Who needs my help.
Feel that is the process like from my perspective, it feels draining. I'm a fan, and I'm like, man, it just get me to the draft, right? So from your perspective, obviously you're grateful to be in the situation, all that yada yada. We understand that, but like, does it put a lot on you, like from a mental standpoint?
Oh, for sure, most definitely. But just growing up, I always had a great support system. Like great people around me, great family. Like so it's it's kind of just part of the journey, part of the process that we've always, lived like throughout, my
Mhm.
journey to make it up to this point.
And is there a location that you'll be watching, like fam? How many people? Have you decided on all that yet?
I'll be in Texas. Draft gonna be, more intimate, with my family or whatever, and then just celebrate after.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
So, I know you're from Texas area. Are you a Cowboys fan?
I never really had a team growing up. Majority of
Yeah.
my family Cowboys fans. But I just always like watching good football, like for the
Yeah.
most part.
Yeah.
So
I
you
feel like
couldn't have been a Cowboys fan then, right? I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
hey, but there's some good teams, back in
No,
the
they
day.
did. They
But
did.
so Taj, you played. I was doing some research on you. You played back in like middle school. It looks like you played running back. You played cornerback. Obviously, you're a receiver now. Have you always been like that versatile? Like, are you like? How did you end up wide receiver, and like, what made you stick to that position?
Yeah, growing up, I played a lot of defense and running back. Pretty much, I was always a little physical kid. People said I was always rough. Um, just going through high school, just smaller. So I, had to take running back out of it. I was still physical, so I played defense. Um, junior high, then my freshman year. Towards the end of my freshman year of high school, I got moved up to varsity. Going towards playoffs. So had to run a little scout team receiver, on that end as well. We're just cooking, you know what I'm saying? So
It
they like,
worked out pretty
okay,
well.
first thing we're gonna do in the spring, you're gonna play wide out. So just from my sophomore year on, pretty much play wide out.
And once you moved to wide receiver, were there certain wide receivers in the NFL that you kind of molded your game after, or did you have a favorite wide receiver growing up that you were like, yeah, that's how I kind of want to play?
Not really. Like, um, majority of my life, I just watched a lot of college football. So like around that time, like it was guys like Tavon Austin,
Mm.
Brandon Cooks. I don't know if you remember guy Victor Bowden. He was an Oregon State guy as well. DeAnthony Thomas. So I was just watching
Ooh,
playmakers like all the time.
Tavon Austin, dude, his mixtape on you is crazy
wild.
to this
Crazy,
day. It's fun
crazy.
to watch.
Great.
Now, Taj, you actually made the switch. So you played for Memphis to start your college career, and then you, similar to like Caleb, you moved to USC, obviously for kind of two different reasons. But how was that transition? Like, was that pretty seamless, smooth? Because I know you were really fond of Memphis. I think the head coach at the time that recruited you ended up leaving, if I'm not mistaken. That kind of made the transition a little bit easier to go to USC. But how was that entire process, man?
Um, it was a little rough. Going from East Texas to Memphis to California. Very different. Going from the South to the West Coast. Never had been to California a day in my life before I went. So it took me a little time to adjust, especially like around time of COVID still happening a little bit, so more
Yeah.
restricted in the West Coast versus the South. So it kind of limited social interaction and just meeting people, even meeting teammates. I didn't really meet everybody till like end of summer workouts, stuff like that. So
Wow.
um, it was tough, and then just that first season there. After the second game, losing, Coach Hilton. Um,
Yeah.
it kind of even made it rougher, and then we didn't have a great season. So um, it just took some time. I mean, but was able to, meet the right people, build the right relationships and, grow from there.
Yeah.
And do you think that transition, right? Because you had to move around so much. Do you think there's some skills that you learned from that, or at least experience that will make the NFL transition like a little bit easier in your opinion?
Almost definitely. Just how to adapt. Just main thing, just being yourself. If you just be yourself, the right people gonna, create themselves around you and create their right circle and people you want to be with just by being yourself.
Makes sense.
Yeah, and Taj, this is kind of a little bit off topic, but I watched an interview with you, and you obviously talked about cornerback matchups and who you'd kind of want to go against the league. You said Sauce Gardner, which I was like, okay, I like that matchup there. Do you have anybody else that you kind of like eyeing that you just get to meet, but also like obviously that competitive side? I want to go against the best of the best outside of Sauce Gardner.
No, not really. That Sauce comment was from college, us playing in college.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
what are your thoughts on Jalen Johnson at all? Watch any of his tape?
I don't have an opinion.
Yeah. Gotcha.
Yeah,
That's smart.
That's fair.
That's cool. Vicky.
Yeah. So the transition from, obviously, I think you're from like a rural area in Texas, right? Right. A smaller type of area in Texas, moving to LA, right? Which is obviously big names, especially USC, right? You got big names throughout there, right? How was that to go? Because I'm from a small town myself. And when I moved to Atlanta, there was obviously some things you had to kind of learn and adjust to. What was probably the biggest hurdle, or like, what's the biggest thing that you learned in such a transition like that?
It kind of goes back to just being yourself, bro. Like, you see a lot of people come to LA, that's where you get the term like Hollywood, people change, people act a certain way. But just being yourself. Like, I'm a country boy. You know what I'm saying? I take full, ownership of that and who I am. You know what I'm saying? And if you don't like, you don't like. If you do, you do. And it's kind of like helped a lot, helped tremendously. I'm very genuine, and people like, when people genuine, people like to be around that, good energy.
Absolutely.
And Taj, I know this one, you seem pretty laid back. So as far as like the draft goes, like, do you have any team, obviously the Cowboys, that's home, kind of closer. Do you have any team that you'd like want to go to? You feel like, oh, this would be a good fit, or are you kind of just open to anything when it comes to getting in the league?
I just want to go where I can be valued at, where I can help as much as I can. I can make plays and help make the people around me better.
Yeah.
Fair. Have you met with, how many teams have you met with? And then, if you don't mind sharing, and then also, did you meet with the Bears at all?
Pretty much everybody. Between, Ryan game, come on, all of that. So pretty much everybody.
Go ahead, Dave.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say, I've heard a lot of good things about the Shrine game. Did you enjoy that whole entire, process, that game, just everything leading up to it?
Oh yeah, most definitely. That was fun. To just learn from, guys that's, coaching in the NFL, NFL systems, how they work. Just meeting the guys from around the country that you've heard of, or, you watch them play on TV, just being around those guys, getting to meet them in person. It's just a great opportunity, and just to showcase, what you already put on film. Just show them in person, what it is.
Yeah.
And maybe on the other side of the coin, right? We know there are some situations which aren't as favorable, like the interviews, I would say, maybe, because there's definitely some crazy questions some of these teams ask. Was there a question that you ever got and you're like, what was that? You don't have to share what team, but did you get any weird questions?
Oh, for sure. I think it's part of it. It's more about response than the actual answer.
Right.
And but it's a few funny ones out there for sure.
Would you say it's more like, is it just a couple here and there, or do you think kind of like a lot of the teams just kind of ask at least one random question to kind of see how you would approach that question?
I feel like it's a lot of mix between the player and whatever team that it is. It could be anything, just depend. It's just a lot of, different variables that go within that. Maybe it's a specific scout or anything like that may be known for like this or that question. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely.
And Taj, I want to circle it back to the Bears real quick. Obviously, Keenan Allen was traded for. He was up at USC. and everything like that. And the duo of him and DJ Moore has been talked about a lot. First of all, I'm not gonna put you too much on the spot. But like, what are your thoughts on that duo? And like maybe how do you think it ranks just in the top of the NFL when it comes to like the best in the league? What were your thoughts just on that trade in general?
I feel like it's a great thing, especially for the organization. Like to have two playmakers there, and guys that can really help. And Keenan Allen, like a guy that can help a lot of young guys. Know the game and just come make plays.
Yeah.
That you need somebody that's solidified. And a playmaker.
Did you have someone like someone at USC that kind of helped you under their wing that you could kind of learn from, or when you kind of came there, you became kind of that guy?
Just a lot of mixture of both, because when I got here, Drake was here. Amon-Ra had just left. So I just caught, the back end of, Drake taught me a lot, how things went there. But, our time together was so short before he left. So, I mean, it's different,
Yeah.
I feel that. Go ahead, Dave.
Yeah, I was going to say because your 2023 season was, I think it was pretty remarkable. 59 receptions, over 1,000 receiving yards, 8 touchdowns, honorable mention all Pac-12. You led the team in receiving. Like there's a lot of talk about, USC this year was kind of a struggle, right? Like maybe expectations weren't met, and that's fair to say. But like for you personally, how was this season? Because it feels like, it's pretty good, at least on paper.
For sure. It was a good season on paper. It was just tough, we didn't win the games that we wanted to win, that we, should have,
Yeah.
It was just tough that way, like leave a lot of games, saying like, player for player, that team wasn't better than us. They just, beat us today. So
yeah,
that was the toughest part, knowing that we were better than what we put out there.
And there could be a likelihood, right? We don't know where you're going to go, but you could get drafted to a team that may not win a lot of games. So what do you feel is almost a positive that obviously you don't want to lose, but like you were able to deal with that adversity? Like what's your biggest takeaway from the losing to those teams you shouldn't have lost last year? And how can you take that into the NFL and use that?
I guess just sharing it, like having that experience and how to share that with other guys and stuff I seen. It just gave me a perspective on, I know what winning looks like. I know what losing looks like. You know what I'm saying? And what I say can be valid.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's awesome.
I want to go back to USC here for a second. You're talking about, you had Amon-Ra that went there, Drake London. There's been tons of great wide receivers that come through USC, including yourself and your colleague, your teammate, Brandon Rice. So based off all that, is USC the number one wide receiver school all time?
Man, is it a question?
Yeah.
Hey, man, recently Ohio State's been putting out some guys too, though. They're at least last few years. So Taj, I want to, obviously you played with one of the most electric, quarterbacks in college that we've seen in a very long time, Caleb Williams. Obviously, I'm not even going to sugarcoat it. He's coming to Chicago. But there's a lot of talk, just obviously you said the noise being in LA that comes with it. Can you tell us just personally, like, how is he as a teammate? How do you guys interact? Like, how was that connection? Because you guys have been together, 2 years you guys played?
Oh yeah, 2 years.
Yeah.
It's always funny, like just reading everything and saying everything, like
yeah,
because notice it's like your boy, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's your boy, and like he just has a lot of eyes on him, or a lot of things people just looking at or nitpicking to see. So it's like it's just funny because like somebody don't know them, like they don't know them, but just he a regular dude, cool. You know what I'm saying? Like go to his crib, eat, stuff like that. Like.
Yeah,
I cook, he cooks, or whatever. Just hanging out. It's funny. I don't know how to explain it. It just be funny to me.
Yeah,
it's lion season. That's what it is. You don't have to say it, but we can say it as fans. People they just ready for clicks, man. That's all it is.
Yeah.
They pick like 1 or 2 people each year that they're like, all right, we're gonna take you down as far as we can. You know what I mean? So.
Thanks.
Yeah. But you mentioned something that was good. If you don't mind, Dave.
Okay.
You said when you'd go to Caleb's house, he'd cook, you could cook. Right. We obviously know that you cook and you cook pretty well. Are you a better cook than Caleb?
Oh, he know. He be playing. He know what's up.
Is that YouTube channel? Like you obviously I think you're partnered with HelloFresh for a while. Are you going to continue that? I think it's
Most
like
definitely.
Chef Taj, right? Once you get in the league.
Yeah, as I continue to grow, I want the channel to grow, the brand to grow as well.
Yeah.
Like, that's something, that I'm passionate about outside of football, and that's something I love to do for real.
Yeah.
I think you're on a USC podcast and sorry if I can't remember the name, about 4 months ago. And you had talked about, you had aspirations, obviously not during the NFL season because there's too much going on, or during your NFL career, but aspirations to actually start your own, kitchen, right? And actually work in it. Do you still have those aspirations?
Oh, for sure.
What's your go-to cuisine? Or like, what would you do in that situation? Like,
I pretty much cook everything, man. Like, whenever somebody, literally, like, I like to challenge myself. People always ask me your favorite thing to cook. I like to say the next thing because it's just, I just like the process of it. I'm more of a service type of, chef anyway. Like, I don't really eat for I don't cook for myself all the time. Like, I like cooking for other people.
I think that's how the best chefs are. They're always making the best dish for somebody else. They don't care how it tastes to them.
I might be crazier, but I feel like that line you just said, Taj, it just went so hard. You said, people ask me what I like to cook. You said the next thing. I'm like, that's crazy, man. That's like a t-shirt right there. That's good.
Hey, NFL scouts, he loves a challenge. He loves a challenge.
He's already good at the marketing too.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Taj, two more things before we get you out of here. Obviously NCAA football, college football is coming back. I think you're big. I think you're big in Madden. I think there was an interview as well. You said that you still have like the PS3 game for like NCAA college football. Like, how excited are you? Like, it's coming out July. How excited are you, man?
I'm very excited to start my dynasty. With my boys.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. Definitely. Do you dabble in Madden too? Do you do with like online franchise or anything like that?
Yeah. I got about 4 or 5 franchises.
4 or 5, my man. That's crazy. That's awesome.
So, longtime Chicago Bear Kyle Long, like he's retired now, but like he loves Madden, and like he's been telling us like all the NFL guys, like they're all getting into Madden. Like that's what they do. Like there's so many that just a lot of people are streaming it now, obviously on Twitch, YouTube and everything like that. So it's a crazy time. One more thing, like I said, Taj, obviously with Caleb Williams, and he is coming to Chicago, and we would love to have you as well. Like I feel like personally you'd just be a great fit, just locker room, obviously the speed, everything you bring would be awesome. Can you tell us with either whether it be practice or just kind of just an interaction because you guys are friends, like can you tell us a story maybe that no one's heard about Caleb that kind of might be able to resonate deeper than just all the headlines? Does that make sense?
Man, it's like pick one.
Nothing crazy, man.
Yeah, of course. I would just say like, I would just say this. Yeah, I'll say this. Just like 2 years ago, I think before the 22 season, we did like a Beats commercial, and I was like, this before we had built our relationship and things like that.
Yeah.
This was like right after spring ball. He texted me like, "Hey, you trying to do this commercial?" I'm like, "Huh?" So I just go out there, and just it was a blessing to get the shirt egg experience. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Ran routes for him, stuff like that. Like, you know what I'm saying? So for a person that barely knew me and just what I'm saying, like for that, like it spoke volumes. And from there,
that's awesome.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. So you had no idea. And he was like, "Hey, let me get my boy." Well, we're not even boys yet, but he's like, "Yeah, let me get Taj in here.
Yeah,
shoot it with you." Yeah, that's fire. That sounds like a great teammate. So hopefully
you
guys are paired up in Chicago.
I said last thing, but Taj, real quick, what did he say?
I don't know what he said, but
I said that'll be lit. That'll be
Yes, it would. Yes, it would.
Be crazy, man. Hey, Taj, one last thing, but how is the NIL experience been, man? Because I think you came in 2019. That was before NIL. Like you kind of you've seen both sides. Like how cool do you like it? Do you think it's good for the future? Real quick thoughts on NIL.
I think it's great for the future.
Yeah.
Seeing both sides, like I've seen the struggles of, being a go play on TV and then come sleep on the couch of a dorm, in a one bedroom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's a great opportunity for kids, to not only grow their brand, but just, a lot of people, profit off of them. So let them, make some make something positive happen. You know what I'm saying? And grow themselves. Not only just go there to play ball, but just grow as a person as well.
That's awesome. And this is my final question. Team's gonna draft you. When they draft you, who are they getting with Taj Washington?
They getting a playmaker who's gonna show up every day, and make the people around him better.
Hell yeah, love that.
And Taj, you're gonna hate me right now. There's one other question. This one's from Tito. It's a $10 super chat. It's for you. He goes, saw some USC games, Taj. A cold motherfucker, I guess I'll say. We can cuss on this one. Your route running is smooth. Praying the Bears pick you up to keep the connection going with Caleb. Tell us one thing about CW you noticed on game days or just as a teammate.
Yeah, I would say game day. He's different. Like through the week, chilling, like bubbly, like you know what I'm saying, like everyday type of conversation. On game day, just don't talk to him, bro. Just let him. You feel me?
Yeah.
Let him get in his mode, like you know what I'm saying, and it's just different. Like game day is fun day, business day, and then once we get on the field, just fun from there.
Locked in. We love it.
Yeah.
Locked in with the #1 pick to the Chicago Bears, and hopefully, Taj, you follow soon after that. So we do appreciate your time hopping on here.
Yeah.
Thank y'all.
Absolutely, Taj. Take care, man.
You too.
Peace.